What's up, guys? The Snowman here. I've got a fun NFL video planned for today. It's my top 10 NFL quarterbacks of all time. Always fun to compare guys from different eras and argue over which resumes are the most impressive. There's certainly a lot of different ways to go about ranking the all-time legends. Winning will be a massive factor, but football, the ultimate team sport, so I'll take into account also individual accolades, stats, iconic moments. Here's my top 10 greatest QBs ever list. Let's kick things off with the oldest quarterback on my list, Johnny Unitas. I will say the list skews heavily towards modern times as passing has become more prevalent, but Johnny U was ahead of his time. 17 seasons in Baltimore with the Colts from 1956 to 72. Unitas dominated the pre-merger times and then helped kick off the Super Bowl era. 4-time league champion, 3-time MVP, an incredible 47-game consecutive streak with at least one touchdown pass, a record that stood for over 50 years. Number 9 is the ultimate gunslinger, Green Bay Packers legend Brett Favre, one of the most fun players to watch, never afraid to chuck a football into the tightest windows. Favre won 3 straight MVPs in the mid-90s, became a Green Bay hero when he helped bring back the Lombardi Trophy to Titletown in 96. At the time of his retirement, Favre was the NFL all-time leader in passing yards, passing TDs, and QB wins. Tough as nails, too. His record of 297 consecutive starts is a figure that still stands today. My 8th best QB ever is one of the most accurate throwers of the ball, Drew Brees. Led some insanely dynamic air raid offenses in New Orleans, including a Super Bowl title in 2009. Set the record for most passing yards in a single season in 2011, over 80,000 all-time. That's second to Tom Brady. Brees ended up breaking that Johnny U streak of consecutive games with a touchdown pass at 54, and my favorite Brees stat, he has 6 of the top 9 seasons in terms of highest completion percentage, including the top 3. At number 7, I have the great John Elway, maybe the most talented quarterback ever, arm strength, athleticism, and a big game reputation, MVP in 87, more notably Elway, the linchpin of back-to-back Broncos Super Bowl teams in the late 90s, top 5 in most playoff wins for a quarterback. Of course, everyone remembers the drive against Cleveland in the 86 AFC title game. Fun stat of his, John Elway, one of 2 players to score a rushing touchdown in 4 different Super Bowls, the only other player being running back Thurman Thomas. Next up is Aaron Rodgers, one of 2 active quarterbacks on my list. Not really anything he can't do on the football field. Must-see TV, Super Bowl MVP during the 2010 postseason with the Packers. 4 regular season MVPs, that's the second most all time. If you're basing it off of statistics alone, there's a case to be made that Rodgers is the top QB of all time, the all-time leader in career passer rating and career touchdown to interception ratio, 4.5 TD to INT all time. Mahomes is second, all the way down at 3.5. Top 5 time, in my opinion, Dan Marino, the 5th greatest quarterback to ever live. The Dolphins Hall of Famer was undoubtedly ahead of his peers throughout the 80s and 90s. Marino had a 1984 MVP season to salivate over, first man to throw for over 5,000 yards in a season. Marino basically had every passing record when he retired, most passing yards and TDs ever, most 300 and 400 yard passing games, most fourth quarter comebacks with 36, all since broken, but Marino, one of the top passers ever. Moving along now, my number 4 QB is Patrick Mahomes. Disclaimer, I am making this list in 2024, so if you're watching this in say 2032, there's a good chance he's leaped up to number 1 or 2 all time. Only 28 years old, but the stats plus results are out of this world. 6 seasons as a starter, 6 AFC title game appearances, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 3 Super Bowl titles, a 15-3 playoff record that's already the 3rd most wins all time, 2 MVPs. Mahomes liable to break just about every single passing record ever before he retires in 10 to 15 years. 3rd best quarterback ever, the great Joe Montana, a long, prosperous run with the 49ers from 79 to 92. Montana, most well known for being a part of 4 Super Bowl winning teams in the 80s, 11 touchdowns in those Super Bowls, 0 interceptions, Montana was automatic in the postseason, second most playoff wins ever, a couple of regular season MVPs. He's near the top of all of the NFL's anniversary teams or all-time lists. Montana with a 146.4 passer rating throughout the 89 playoffs. This man was perfect in the biggest moments. Number 2 is Colts and Broncos legend Peyton Manning. For my money, the highest football IQ ever, a chess master at the line of scrimmage with his ability to dissect defenses. Most regular season MVPs ever with 5. That includes 2013, where he threw a jaw-dropping 55 touchdowns, the most ever. If Peyton was your quarterback, it was almost like just put that team down for 12 wins. Aside from injury, his teams made the playoffs every year, a couple of Super Bowl titles, the second most career wins for a quarterback. Manning has a flawless resume in every way. Finally, the best quarterback to ever play the sport. No hot take here, Tom Brady. 23 years of greatness. Of course, you have to mention the 7 Super Bowl titles. His playoff accomplishments are unmatched. 35 postseason wins. The next closest is Montana at 16. 3 MVPs, all the statistical accolades you could ask for, a 16-0 regular season, a 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl, most wins all time, the oldest NFL MVP at age 40. Brady was quite literally at the very top of the game for over 20 years, continued to reinvent himself and do every single thing it took in his life to become the greatest quarterback of all time. Thanks a lot for watching my top 10 NFL quarterbacks rankings video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about my list, who should have been on it, who shouldn't have been on it. Subscribe to Snowman Sports Media for more football and other sports fun. Cheers.